So today we're going to be speaking to David Matsanga, who's a political analyst, and we speak to him on a regular basis. And this is with regards to the over 50 Commonwealth nations that are meeting in Samoa for the heads of government meeting. There was some disturbances, I think, on day one of this heads of state meeting, and somebody from Australia was it Samoa or Australia? But yeah, I think Samoa. Somebody was complaining about the sovereignty of their country to the King of England, the King of the United Kingdom. That's King Charles. So it was a very interesting one. So we'll unpack this with David Matsanga.
First of all, just as the past cannot be forgotten, that's why today several millions across the globe honor and commemorate the World War I, World War II in Britain. In the moment we are in commemoration period, remembering what happened in those two wars. So my good friend, the Prime Minister, whom I support fully, a great friend of mine when he was a DPP, we have campaigned for the Labour Party for a long time to come to power. We must not forget the past. We must not forget and make a mistake to repeat it. Therefore, it has to be discussed whether the forum is the best forum or not. That is the arrangement of the Commonwealth which has set up this program. But the discussion on the matters of slavery and other reparations that we must be looking for in this whole world to repair Africa, to repair the families, to repair the countries, to repair the slave families, must be discussed at any time, anywhere. But if this forum does not allow, the matter will not die. It will be pursued in another forum.
Just for interest's sake, why did it take so long for these nations to table this matter at this meeting? And could this be related to the fact that the Secretary General position will now be occupied by an African?
You are 100% Lulu. It is sad that when it comes to rotational Secretary Generalship, Africa is taking its chance today or tomorrow. Between now and Sunday, we shall have a new Secretary General. The current Secretary General is also one of the offsprings of slavery. She is from Bahamas, but a British national by naturalization. Her parents came from Bahamas, and she should have pushed for this, because it is us pushing the remnants of the slavery ended up in the Caribbean. But now it has come to Africa. They know very well we are going to pursue this agenda up to a conclusive end. That is why there is everybody get scared of what is going to happen if we start the topic. The topic cannot go away. The topic cannot remove the people who are in America. How did they arrive there? The people who are in the Caribbean, how did they arrive in the Caribbean? The people in Haiti, how did they arrive in Haiti? Therefore, you must explain to the normal circumstances that in conflict resolution, until the ghosts are arrested, until they are arrested, you can't say no.
Yes. Now, Dr. Matsanga, candidates that are vying for the Secretary General position, we're looking at a candidate from Lesotho, Ghana, and the Gambia. What should be their first order in office?
First order in office is to bring discipline, to bring human rights, decorum. There are countries in the Commonwealth that should not be there. One of them is Nigeria. The first agenda that Matsanga has floated, and which I continue to float, is a suspension of Nigeria from the Commonwealth for lack of human rights. We suspended Abacha Cameroon, Gabon. These are countries where democracy has been trampled on. We have not said anything about it. Several things have happened in these states. In Cameroon, for example, the English-speaking people are being butchered. They are being killed. In Nigeria, for example, Biafran people, the southeast of Biafra, and the entire Nigeria is horror. It is useless country, not functioning. The terrorists have taken over Nigeria. They are butchering people in Nigeria. The state has collapsed. The governance is not there. Human rights are trampled on. Nigeria, that's the first agenda, even the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, to return the values of His Majesty, the King, the Kingdom, the Commonwealth, that stood for the human rights abuses, against human rights abuses in the world. Britain is an example of human rights. Anybody against human rights in Britain, you find Britain is at the forefront. Why has it left countries under their supervision in the Commonwealth to sit on the table and dine with some of the people who kill, maim, slaughter, abduct, terrorize their citizens?
Which comes to my next question, Dr. Matsanga, with some activists in the UK questioning why the British monarch King Charles is part of the Commonwealth meeting. Does this entity still have any relevance?
56 nations, Lulu, has relevance. 56 nations have a common bond. 56 nations run around the world with English. English is spoken across the world. Everybody struggles to speak this English. The origin of this English is from the same Commonwealth, from His Majesty, the King. And therefore, anybody, an activist saying the King should not attend, maybe he went to the school compound but did not enter the school classroom.
Dr. Matsanga, in wrapping up, we have run out of time. Zimbabwe wants to re-enter the Commonwealth. Are we likely to see them being readmitted? And how will this benefit Zimbabwe with this membership?
I want Zimbabwe to enter the Commonwealth anytime, without conditions. Because if the British lose Zimbabwe to the Chinese, we are done. I'm honest. We are done. Don't put conditions. Anybody putting conditions for re-entry of Zimbabwe, then expel. If you put conditions that Zimbabwe should enter after safeguarding A, B, C, D, expel Nigeria and Gabon and Cameroon. Take them out first. Because they are doing the same thing worse than even Zimbabwe. Therefore, for me, Zimbabwe must be readmitted fully as it worked out because of the reasons of the Troika. I, Thabo Mbeki, Amai, Dlamini Zuma, myself, Mudenge, we struggled. We were defeated by Howard and Obasanjo, betrayed us, and they made Zimbabwe leave the Commonwealth. Today, I will be happy in the coming days, as I still live on earth, that I see this great nation readmitted without conditions, so that we stabilize the influx of people out of the exodus of people out of Zimbabwe to South Africa. If Zimbabwe is readmitted in the Commonwealth, the British Empire, the British Commonwealth will help to remove obstacles of sanctions, of which I have gone to court in the ICJ to place documents on the table of ICJ to ask the International Court of Justice, why have you put sanctions on a country for 24 years? and killed over 27,000 people.
Dr. Matsanga, we'll leave it there for today. Thank you for your time on Africa Update.
Thank you very much, Lulu. All the time, I will stand for this great continent of Africa. Come rain, come sunshine, I'm still here.
Thank you, Dr. Matsanga. That's political analyst Dr. David Matsanga joining us on the line. It is news headlines time with Jalani Tulo.